Because we have Mr. Bateman's statement, I think you should put on record what he says about this topic. And I know you've had the discussion with the colonel and you have an account from his interview of Mr. Bateman, but I think in fairness to Mr. Bateman and for completeness of your discussion, you should put what he says. So it seems he deals with it from paragraph 5, maybe, and then 6 and 7.
Yes. Commissioner Baloy, the reason why I'm asking the Colonel is because that interview happens in 2022 and this statement is in 2026. So I just wanted to know, when he had the conversation in 2022, what was his version as to the request? Because in 2026, Colonel Roelofse wasn't around when the statement was taken. That was Captain McLean.
I understand that, but yes, because we do have the statement on this very topic that you're canvassing, I think it should be put to you.
So if you go to page 40 of the bundle, that's Mr. Bateman's statement, which he proposed to in June 2026. And at paragraph 5, he says, in July 2018, a voice recording and pictures of an affidavit deposed to by Brigadier Petle of the South African Police Services was sent to me. The recording was of a conversation between SAP's Major General Feroz Khan and Petle. 6, I received the information from a source whose identity I cannot reveal. I attach here to a redacted screenshot of the message. 7, I don't have any recollection of the circumstances that led me to send the recording and documents to Johnson. However, I can only infer that it was following a discussion and in response to a request from Johnson. I received the information and sent it to Johnson on the same day, 3 July 2018.
Commissioners, it is more or less in line in terms of what was said to me. I think this is now 4 years later. I think he probably couldn't remember all the detail that he gave to us when we had the conversation with him in 2022. So, but it is in line, and that is how I understood it as to what had happened. There was a request, and based on the request, he would have provided the information.
Thank you. We can go back to your statement. At paragraph 12, page 5.
In August 2022, I received a statement from the Colonel setting out the events on the 4th of July 2018. At this stage, Advocate Johnson was the head of IDAC, where I was placed even though I was attached to the DPCI. I could not approach Advocate Johnson given the allegations of interference and defeating the ends of justice. At this stage, Captain McLean had also ascertained that the NPA decided on 15 December 2021 already not to prosecute the assault and intimidation docket. And the docket had been withdrawn from the CAS system on the 13th of January 2022.
Colonel, what does it mean the docket had been withdrawn from the CAS system?
It actually should read closed, Commissioner. What we have a CAS administration system, which is an administration system for our dockets. So when the case docket is opened, it would be registered on the CAS system. So at the end of an investigation, whether it is unfounded, whether a warrant of arrest was issued, you will then close the docket and it will be closed on the CAS system. I think in this specific case, it was a nolli prosecute, if I'm not mistaken. So the docket would have been closed on the CAS system as a nolli prosecute. But as I said, I don't have the docket in front of me, so I'm not sure exactly as what it was closed. But then it get archived. So that is in essence what happened. So there won't be any further queries on the administration system, bring forward dates and that kind of thing. But the docket will show that it's been archived, and you can go and find the docket there.
So it doesn't mean, because that's how I had read it, because I don't know your systems. So when you say withdrawn from the CAS system, I had read it to mean it had been deleted from the systems. You wouldn't find it.
It cannot be deleted.
Okay.
There will always be an audit trail,
Okay.
so you can't delete that.
Thank you.
Okay, page 5, paragraph 13 of your statement, Advocate Johnson's knowledge of the allegations against her.
I decided to approach the national head of the DPCI, Lieutenant General Labia, for assistance because of the circumstances that I found myself in. I met General Labia in the last week of August 2022, but I do not recall the exact date. I informed him of the allegations contained in the Colonel's statement and furnished him with a copy of the Colonel's statement. I told General Labia that we needed the NPA to assign a senior prosecutor to the matter. I expected General Labia to request the NPA head, at the time Advocate Shamila Batoy, for a senior prosecutor to be assigned to the case. I could not take the matter to a lower court due to Advocate Johnson's position as head of IDAC. Advocate Johnson's position also placed me in a precarious position because I had been placed at IDAC in Advocate Johnson's office as part of a duty arrangements between the DPCI and IDAC.